This lesson is about the family, the words of the people who are in your family. In GaelicLessonTeaghlach, the family. Ahid, father, or we say daddy as well, but your A-I-D-H is E, all right, daddy. Mahir is mother, no, mammy. Notice, ahir is said very quickly. Mahir, the A is stressed, got the grab on it, so stressed out. So mother is stressed out. So always remember that. Mum is stressed out. So when you want to say, this is my father, then you would say, Sho Mahir. Sho Mahir. When you say, this is my mother, or here is my mother, Sho Mo Vahir. Sho Mo Vahir. Now, a lot of people do get very confused with these two sounds. So ahir is father, but mahir is my father. Mahir, mother, and mo vahir, my mother. Okay? Right, Pauline, say my father.
Sho Mahir.
But that would be, this is my father. Just my father.
My father. Mahir.
Mahir. Say mother.
Mahir.
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 Fiona, try them. My father.
Mahir.
No, Mahir. Say it quickly.
Mahir.
Mahir. And mother.
Mahir.
That's it. Yep. Catherine. Mother.
Mahir.
My father.
Mahir.
Gleva. Davy. My father.
Mahir.
Mother.
Mahir.
Caroline. Mother.
Mahir.
My father.
Arthur.
Mahir. My father. Mahir. This one here.
Oh, sorry, yes. Mahir.
So my
Mahir.
father, Mahir. Mother, Mahir.
Mahir.
Judy, mother.
Mahir.
Mahir. And my father.
Mahir.
So when we speak in Gaelic, we say my father and my mother, we say Mahir smo Mahir would be my father and my mother. Mahir smo, the S, apostrophe S is agus, which is and. So Mahir smo Mahir. So I would say Va Mahir smo Mahir a Lewis, my mother and father were from Lewis. Va Mahir smo Mahir a Lewis. Brahir, brother. So Shin mo Brahir, that is my brother. So Shin is that. That is Shin mo Brahir. So if you were in a company and the brother was over in the corner, you would say Shin mo Brahir. Pure, sister. Shin mo Fjur. That's my sister. Shin mo Fjur. Shenavar. Shenavar, and the N, between the N and the M is an epenthetic vowel A. Shenavar. Shenavar, which means old mother, because Shen, Shaun is old in Gaelic. And it's one of the few adjectives that goes in front of the noun. So Shaun Vahir would be an old mother, which becomes the word grandmother. So Shenavar is grandmother. You can say granny as well, that's accepted. Shenar is grandfather, which sometimes people just say Shen, which is the old man. Okay. Shen, Shenar is Shaun Ahir, is an old father. Are you getting how I've got that? It's the AIR of ahir added on to shan, ahir, shena. That's the easiest way to learn, to remember them. So ha granny an shin means granny is there. In shin, there. Ha shen an shin is granddad is there. Ha shen an shin. Now without having mahar pure granny, so ha Davy an shin, David's there. Ha Caroline an shin, Caroline's there. Han Dunyagum an shin, my husband's there. Ha Pauline an shin, Pauline's there. But when you're introducing somebody, you say, Shaw Pauline Moven would be, here's Pauline, my wife. That's how you would say, introduce them to. Mach, son. We have words like Gile, which is a boy, and they have different words for that as well, but Mach is the son, and Nian is the daughter. Nian is a daughter and also a girl. Dunya, husband. It can also mean a man, in Dunya Shaw, this man here. Ben, wife. Kele, partner. So Maher Kele is your mother-in-law. Ahar Kele is your father-in-law. Braher Kele is brother-in-law. And pure Kele is sister-in-law. Notice that the female has lenited. So Maher Kele, pure Kele, has lenited, but Ahar Kele and Braher Kele doesn't lenite on the Kele. Lenif is a child. Pasture is another word which is toddler, pasture. And clown are your children. Nian, as I said, is a daughter. So Nian Movrahar is your niece. She's the daughter of my brother. Nian Mo-Feher is the daughter of my sister. And the reason why Brahar has dropped the I and pure has changed to Peher is they're both in the genitive case. So it's the daughter of my brother and the daughter of my sister. Machmo Vrahar is the son of my brother. Machmo Feher, the son of my sister, being your nephew. So you would say, Shaw Donald Machmo Vrahar would be your Donald, your nephew. Shaw Donald, this is Donald, Machmo Vrahar. That's how we introduce people in Gaelic. Shaw Eli, Nian Mo Feher, would be your niece on your sister's side, your sister's daughter. Nian Mo Feher, Eli, so here's Eli or Helen. Nian Mo Feher would be your, Eli would be your niece. Shaw Mary, Nian Mo Vrahar, would be the daughter of your brother. Mary would be the daughter of your brother. So Mary, Nian Mo Vrahar. You're going to have fun next week working out your relatives, telling me all about them. Oa is a grandchild. Ban Oa is your granddaughter, the ban making it feminine. For instance, if you have as well the Ri, R-I-G-H, R-I-G-H is the king. Baun Ri is the queen. So you have Baun in front of the noun, the masculine noun, That makes it into the feminine word. So ban o would be your granddaughter, but o is a grandchild or a grandson. Ir o is the child from the west. Ir being the west side, great grandchild. And ko o is a cousin. Now I never ever learned the word ko when I was speaking about my cousins. I would say Patrick Mark pure Mavaher, and you go down the genealogy line and you say, this is Peter, the son of my mother's sister. That would be the way you describe your cousin. But nowadays we have ko-o and it makes it easier for you. Lenev is a twin. That le means half. So it's half of a child, basically, you're saying. But you can also say le-un, half of one. So Braher le-un is a twin brother. Pure le-un is a twin sister. But a
Did you
le...
have another word for twin, which sounds like, I've forgotten what it is, but I remember.
Carriage.
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 Yes, because David has twins, and you were saying fine. So how's that?
If you say they're twins, she carried a honda. That's how they're twins.
Right.
But if you want to specify it's a twin sister or twin brother, this is how you have to say it.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So le vraher is a half brother, would be a step brother. Le fjur is a half sister. Now these are lenited. These two words are lenited there. Le vraher and le fjur. We also have the words uncle and auntie, but they come from English and they've been looked as if they're Gallicized, uncle and auntie. That makes it easier for you, but I'm not going to make it easy for you. I want you to learn the correct way. So Braher Movaher becomes the brother of my mother, who is your uncle. So Braher Movaher, again this Vaher is of my mother, so you've dropped the I here, or it's the brother of my father, Braher Maher. So Dol Braher Maher would be my uncle Donald.
So how comes the I is missing out of Maher and Aher?
Yes, because it's the genitive case.
Yes, okay.
That's why it's of mother, of my mother, and of my father. So that's why they have been changed in spelling. That's a fun lesson later on. The genitives, fun. Something to look forward to. Okay. And then pure Mavaher is the sister of my mother. So Anne, pure Mavaher, would be my Auntie Annie. Anne, pure Mavaher, becomes Anne, the sister of my mother. Pure Maher, Katrine, pure Maher would be Katrine, my auntie, but she's the sister of my father. Confused? Totally.
A wee bit.
It sounds more sensible though, because if when you can have lots of aunties and uncles, but everyone wants to know who they are within your family. And
that's exactly why Highland people are brilliant at genealogy. Absolutely super. And the other thing is you can go down, I can go down to 5 or 6, in fact 7 generations in names by saying who they exactly are. By saying that the brother of Ian, the son of the so and so, you know, and it goes on like that. But it's really quite fascinating, actually. And I remember hearing a program, a fellow from London who was an Indian, of Indian parentage and went to India, and he met his relatives for the first time, and they seemingly do exactly the same thing down the genealogy with all the parentage, which is really quite sweet, quite nice. Okay, Dafta is a foster child, and Dafta Bashtig is to baptize. So that's the child of baptism is your godchild or your goddaughter, son or daughter. And then Balmdrach.
I'm going to try and mute because I've got a bin lorry outside.
Okay. Dafta Bashti is your godchild or godson or goddaughter. Balmdrach is a widow or a widower. And the way you distinguish these different, Balmdrach's the noun for both the widow and the widower. But when you come to distinguishing the two, there's a format in the verb inye, chanye, nache, she. Is she a widow? You'd have to ask inye, Balmdrach, heintje. Is it a widow that she is? This format you also use in professions. Inye teacher heintje. Is she a teacher? Inye Balmdrach heintje, is she a widow? She, yes, she Balmdrach heintje. But if it's a widower, you go she Balmdrach a hound. It is a widower that he is. So she teacher a heintje would be she is a teacher. She teacher a hound would be he is a teacher. Yeah, another lot of pronouns we've got to learn. Okay. Just follow the words with me then, just see them out. Ahead.
Acher.
Aher.
Ahead. Quickly. Ahead.
Acher.
Mahead.
Maher.
Brahead.
Braher.
Pure.
Pure.
Shenavar.
Shenna.
Shenavar. Shenavar. Shenar.
Shanna.
Mach. Nien.
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 Dunje.
Junior.
Ben.
Ben.
Kele.
Kele.
Lenef.
Lenneth.
Clown.
Clown.
Nien Mavrahar.
Nien.
There's, see the difference, you'll see here, Brahir, I've said here, that this is Nien Mavrahar.
Nien Mabrahar.
A-R. Brahir, Nien Mavrahar. Nien Mo Feher.
Neo.
Nien Mo
Feher.
Feher.
Mach Mavrahar.
Mach Mo Brahar.
Mach Mo Feher.
Mach
Mo Feher.
Oa.
Oa.
Banoa.
Banoa.
Ear Oa.
Ear.
Oa.
Ko Oa.
Oa.
Le Lenev.
Le.
Brahir Le Un.
Braher.
Le.
Un.
Pure Le Un.
Pure.
Un.
Le Brahir.
Le.
Brahar.
Le Pure.
Le.
Pure.
Pure.
Uncle, auntie.
Uncle.
Auntie.
Braher my wahar.
Braher.
Vaher.
Braher mahar.
Braher. Maher.
Ahar.
Pure my wahar. Should be grab.
Pure.
Mahar.
Vaher.
And pure mahar.
Pure.
Pure mahar.
Maher.
Ahar.
Dalta.
Dalta.
Dalta basti.
Dalta. Basti.
Basti.
Bauntroch.
Balmtra.
Gleva. Enye. Chanye. Nache she. So enye bauntroch a hintje. Enye bauntroch a hintje.
Ane. Balmtra. A inch.
Yeah.
She bauntroch a hintje. She bauntroch a hintje. She bauntroch a hound.
Shebantrach a han.
A hound.
Bauntroch a hound.
Inche.
Gleva. I've written a quick wee story just for you to think. Ha braher agam chanel pure agam. Ha me vraher na soige na mi, ha mi na shinne na e. Sam na joas va maher agus me vaher nach marren for hus, agus va I de furok an een donage. Rukig so hokig mi an een donage, sam na se nilan skia noch handinjakam. Ha nien ban oe agus van oe agus oe agam. Va de furok an in Australia a ga de nish furok an in Alabe. Ha tar go oichen agam furok an in Lewis, an in Canada, ans de Staten Unite, agus an in Barbados. Bi ko oichen in dunjagam furok an in Zeeland nuag, agus Australia. Bi mi brien rue gumatriek. How much do you think we'd have got out of that?
Some.
Some.
Some. Yeah.
So I have a brother.
Yeah.
I don't have a sister.
Sister.
My brother is younger than me, nis oige na mi. Ha mi nis shune na e, I am older than he is.
Yes.
Sam na lior se va maher smo vaher. My mother and father were from Lewis.
Good.
Nach Marion is deceased. So that's told you, so you don't get embarrassed. We have this phrase nach Marion, so that people will know by that nach Marion that you're talking about your deceased family. For whose originally? So they were, my mother and father were from Lewis originally, they're deceased. Agus via the furok an the they were living in Edinburgh. Rukig so hokig me an the region, I was born and brought up in Edinburgh. So that's in Iran Skianach and the Nyagam, it's my husband is from the island of Skye. Hanien banoa agus vanoa agus oa agam. I have a daughter, a granddaughter, a great granddaughter, and a great grandson. Va the furok in Australia, they were living in Australia, but they are now living in Scotland. Ha tar ho oich in agam, I've got lots of cousins. If furok and Lewis living in Lewis. In Canada, and in Canada, and the Staten Unite, in America, states, and in Barbados. Biko oichen in Dunyagam, the cousins of my husband's cousins live in New Zealand.
And Australia.
Be me a brien rue gematriek, I speak to them quite often. So you've got all these words. So what I'm going to ask you is for next week, have a wee tackle at telling me about some of your relatives, where they live, where they're from, and see how we get on. Thanks again.